Good morning, second graders. Welcome to math. Last week, we spent a lot of time talking about base 10 blocks and specifically how we could use base 10 blocks as an addition strategy. And we talked about adding strategies to our addition toolbox. Now, we're going to continue to add strategies throughout the year, but we're going to pause just for a minute and we are going to start talking about money. So I hope that you have access to this slide. I will link it below in our schedule. But here we go. So we're going to talk about money. Money is one of my favorite things to talk about. Money is important because you will use it every day in your life. So there are some things that you will learn in math that you will think, when am I ever going to use this? Money is not one of those things. Knowing money, knowing how to save, budget, plan, add how much money you have, subtract from what you've spent, you will use it every day of your life. So here we go. Money. The first thing, we're really only going to be talking about coins for the first few days, and specifically, we're only going to be talking about pennies today. So if you are thinking to yourself, I know what a penny is worth, well, pat yourself on the back. You are a pro, and today will be a breeze. If you do not know what a penny is, sit tight and you will learn. So the first thing you're going to do is listen to this song. You will talk about pennies, nickels, dimes, and quarters. All right, this symbol stands for cents. Later today, or just in a few minutes, you will be doing an independent practice where you count pennies. I want you to be sure to add this symbol after you write the answer. So for example, if I had 4 pennies and I wrote the number 4, to show that it's 4 cents, you will add this symbol after the number 4. It's really just the letter C with a line through it. All right, here is the coin that we're going to talk about today. This is a penny. It is the only coin that is copper in color or brown. A penny is worth 1 cent. Now, on all coins, there is a front of a coin and a back of a coin. On the front of a penny is our 16th president, Abraham Lincoln. On the back of our penny is the Lincoln Memorial, and the Lincoln Memorial is in Washington, D.C. It is a place that you can visit if you are ever in Washington, D.C. It is huge. So this is a building, and then on the inside, you can kind of see it here. There's a humongous statue, and that statue is of Abraham Lincoln sitting in a chair. So if you want to see what it looks like, I encourage you to, in Safari, type in Lincoln Memorial, and you can see what it looks like in real life. I went to see the Lincoln Memorial when I was in 8th grade, and it is pretty crazy. I think its sculpture is amazing that someone can chisel with axe and chisel things that look so realistic like Abraham Lincoln. So a penny is worth 1 cent. Abraham Lincoln is on the front, the Lincoln Memorial is on the back, and it's really easy to tell because it's the only one that's brown. All right, next we have a nickel. A nickel is worth 5 cents. It's really important that you know how to count by fives, because if you know how to count by fives, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, and so on, it will make counting nickels that much easier because you can count by fives, and a nickel is worth 5 cents. On the front of our nickel is our second president, Thomas Jefferson, and on the back of our nickel, it is a place called Monticello, and Monticello is the home where Jefferson used to live when he was alive. You can also visit Monticello. It is in Virginia, and if you are ever there, it's a beautiful house that you tour and see inside. It is also a place that people dress up and pretend to be of the time period. Maybe you have been to a place like that. So anyone who brings you on a tour at Monticello will pretend like they were living in the time of Thomas Jefferson, and it's just a really neat experience. All right. Our next one is a dime. And a dime is worth 10 cents, which makes being able to count by tens a helpful tool to know how to do when counting dimes. So if you know how to count by tens, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, it makes counting dimes that much easier. So a dime is worth 10 cents. Dimes are the littlest coin. They are silver, they're silver in color, just like our nickel is silver in color. On the front of our dime is a president whose name is Franklin Delano Roosevelt, and he was president when my grandparents were still alive. He was the president during World War II, and he was president during a time called the Great Depression. Fun fact about Franklin Delano Roosevelt, he had a disease called polio, and for much of his presidency, he had a really hard time walking, and he spent a lot of time in a wheelchair. But no one knew because he did such a good job holding himself up when he made speeches. And so very, very few people knew that he had polio. On the back of the dime, there is an olive branch, a torch, and an oak branch. Later in our lesson, you will be able to go explore a website, and there's a page that will tell you the meaning behind the olive branch, the torch, and the oak. So look out for that. All right, last but not least, we have our quarter. A quarter is worth 25 cents. 4 quarters go into $1. So if you have 4 quarters, it equals 100 or $1. On the front of our quarter is George Washington, our first president. And on the back of the quarter, it's kind of hard to say. When I was a little girl growing up, the quarter always had an eagle on it. And you will still see quarters a lot that have eagles. Eagle is the United States bird. So every state, Indiana has its own state bird. Rhode Island has its own state bird. Indiana's state bird is the cardinal. But the whole United States, our bird is the bald eagle. And the bald eagle stands for strength and power. And so that is why that bird was on the back of a quarter. But now, lots of different things are printed on the backs of quarters. Each state has its own design for the quarter. National parks are also on the back of quarters. So I encourage you to ask your grown-ups if they have any quarters, or maybe you have some quarters in a piggy bank at home. Look on the back and see, do you have eagles on the back of your quarters, or do you have something else? I would love to see a picture of the quarters that you have. Now remember, the quarter is worth 25 cents. But you really only need to remember right now that a penny is worth 1 cent, because pennies are the only coin that we're going to do anything with today. So a penny is worth 1 cent. I can write it like 1 cent, or when you're writing your answers on your independent practice sheet, I want you to write 1 and then the C with a line in it, cent, 1 cent. All right, so now we're going to practice just counting some pennies. And remember, penny is worth 1, so it will be pretty easy. Here we go. All right, how many pennies do you see? Count them. How much? 4. And since they're money, you would say 4 cents. The cents is really important. 4 cents is a lot different than $4. So you want to make sure to say what it is. 4 cents. All right, next one. What do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have 6 cents. Okay, count now. 8. I have 8 cents. We keep adding. How many pennies do we have now? Or how many cents do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10, or 10 cents. Last one. Count them all up. Figure out how many cents. 11. I have 11 cents. All right, so now you need to take a little break And in your math packet that you picked up yesterday, there was a packet of math sheets that were stapled together. I just want you to do the very first one. It looks like this. It says counting pennies. You're just going to complete this. You're going to write the total. Now remember, I want you to write the number and then the symbol for cents, which is the C with a line. So if I were going to do this one, I would count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I would write the number 6, and then I would write C with the line.
Anyone who is walking may make your way to the office. Anyone who is walking, please go ahead and make your way to the office.
I'm sorry about that. Excuse the interruption. So you will write 6 and then cents. All right. Then after you do that, I want you to watch this video. This is a really neat video showing you how coins are made. They are made at a place called the Mint, not like the mint that you put in your mouth. But this is very interesting. So take a minute. It's only about 3 minutes and watch how coins are made. Then last but not least, here's our choice board. So after you have done the slides up above, you've done your independent practice, you've watched the video that I just showed you, you must do extra math. And then you have 2 may do choices, meaning you don't have to do them, but you may do them if you have extra time in your math chunk. So the first may do choice is to go onto Epic and in the search bar type in money. So I'll show you what that looks like. I'm going to go to Epic. Then in my search bar up here, I'm going to type in money, M-O-N-E-Y, money. And then it gives you some choices, counting money, earning money, saving money, spending money, types of money. And there's also some videos that you could watch about money. So that's may do choice 1. I'm going to go back up to my slide. May do choice number 2 is to go to the U.S. Mint website on your own. So I'm going to press present. If you click on this link, it will bring you to the U.S. Mint website. Up here, if you click on coins, it will bring you to some information about the types of coins there are, what the value is, what they're made of, how big they are, how much they weigh. There's the video again that you watched up above. Here's another little video. There's also some more information about collecting. So some of the things you can collect as souvenirs. Like I talked about how the quarter has different things on the back. Some people collect those. Then there's a few different videos that you could check out, making coins, coins in space, inside the mints. So remember, mints are the place that makes the coins. And then there's also some games. So just explore, have fun. And we will talk about the other kinds of coins as the week progresses. Have fun and enjoy exploring and learning more about pennies.